Michael here today with another Bears video, and this is my final schedule prediction for my Chicago Bears 2021 NFL season. Keep in mind, this is a development season. Playoffs is a possibility, but it's not a predicament. Depending if Justin Fields goes off, this is just a development year. We don't expect to make the Super Bowl. Maybe in 5 years, if Justin Fields is developing what he is, we'll talk about it. But let's get in. Regardless, let's get into the 2021 season for the Chicago Bears. So week one, it's against the Rams. The Rams did upgrade over the offseason, upgrade from Jared Goff to Matthew Stafford. Their defense did lose key parts, their defensive coordinator, but they are still going to be a top five defense, at least a top five defense. But it would be a winnable game if we had Justin Fields start the full game. But because of Andy Dalton starting, I'm actually predicting this to be a loss. But keep in mind, we will see Justin Fields in the second half, but the damage will already be done by Andy Dalton because our coach is too stubborn. So, Justin Fields' debut will be against the Bengals. Now I have this as a win. You want to know why? Because this should be a great debut for Justin Fields. Bengals' defense isn't that amazing. It really isn't. So I could see this going a little bit of a back and forth, but I feel like Justin Fields will have the upper hand, and Joe Burrow will probably be running for his life because his offensive line is not prospering. Well, Jamar Chase is looking like a bust. I know it's preseason, but looking at film, he's looking a little bit ass. So get to the next game. Week 3 at Cleveland, I have this actually as a loss for the Bears. Don't get me wrong though. This could be a game where the Bears win, but I see this being a loss because Cleveland has a more talented team around them. They have a good quarterback. They have a good wide receiving core. They have a good run game. Their defense might have question marks, but Cleveland has too much talent for us to go back and forth. Now, week 4 against Detroit Lions. People think this would be a good way for Justin Fields to start, but I have a feeling we're going to see something in that week 1. But let's not talk about that. We have Justin Fields as our starter. It's his second game, and I have this as a win. Detroit really didn't do much this offseason. They downgraded from basically everything. Detroit is a fucking dumpster fire that you even shouldn't be the NFL team. I probably shouldn't even have to explain. I should have just said we just have this as a win and we move on. But for expectation purposes, I have to explain because the Lions downgraded. I'm not a firm believer in Jared Goff. I think he was just a product of McVay that just went off. They have no receiver talent outside of a tight end and run game. What are they really good for? Exactly. So next game, week 5 at Las Vegas. Now this could be very interesting because I see the Las Vegas Raiders upgrade, but they did kind of regress on the offensive line issues that they had. Their defense is going to have a lot of question marks because the secondary is probably going to be ass. Their front seven is going to be all right because they got Gerald McCoy, I think his name was, to help their pass rush. But I have a feeling this might be a good workout for Justin Fields because we are getting to the next game, and I have us winning that game. Justin Fields having a Pro Day and him winning NFC North Player of the Week that week. So, against the Packers, I can see this going either way. But I have us winning this game because it's at home. You know, Justin Fields is starting to look a lot hotter than, I trust Justin Fields when we go up against Aaron Rodgers. If we had Andy Dalton starting against Aaron Rodgers, I probably would change this to be a swept because I don't believe in Dalton. That's why I think he's going to get benched week one. Ain't no way he leaves LA with that starting job. I promise you that. So I have us winning this game. Might be close. It might come down to a Justin Fields game-winning drive, and he throws a touchdown to Robinson, like that Randall Cobb that sent us out of the place. But that don't matter. At Tampa Bay against the defending Super Bowl champs, yeah, I have that as a loss. Tampa is too talented once again. Their defense is looking a lot better than they were last year because their secondary was horrible last year, but their front seven was all right. But they did lose Jared McCoy, but their offense is just too high powered to go back and forth with the Bears. It's like for this one, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning this one. So next week is against the 49ers. All right, bear with me. Because I know everyone wants to say this is Justin Fields' revenge game. The 49ers are very talented across the border. But the question is Jimmy Garoppolo, is this his last year to prove that he's still an NFL elite? Like he's just an average quarterback at best. This is a winnable game for the Bears, but the 49ers are the better team again because their defense just because they weren't good last year because of injuries. They were not good because of injuries. They had Nick Bosa, they had Sherman, but still I have us losing this one. It'll be close, but if Trey Lance starts, this possibility will be changed in the near future. So keep up that. At Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Steelers are my team to regress this season because they were the luckiest 11-0 team I've ever seen. Like anyone watching this, except for Steelers fans, will agree that the Steelers were the worst 11-0 team like in history. They shouldn't even deserve to win that division. They should have given that division to the Browns if anything. But keep in mind, it doesn't matter who starts at quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger, Dwayne Haskins. This will be a winnable game for us, and we're just far the better team in this situation. And we all know the Steelers play down to their competition to a game that's winnable, and I have a feeling that's going to be a situation where it leaves us because where they play down to their competition. So we're on our bye. Ravens, I have us losing that one. I know I had us winning this one, but the Ravens look like they're about to have an MVP season with Lamar. It is winnable because the Ravens did regress, but I have a feeling they're just going to focus on a run offense with Lamar Jackson. So it will be close, don't get me wrong. It is a winnable game, but I would be saying this if Joe Flacco was the quarterback. But unless the defense shuts down Lamar Jackson, it will be a slaughterhouse for the Chicago Bears. Okay. Thanksgiving at Detroit. When I've already talked about Detroit, regress, downgraded. I don't fucking care if it's at home. And their meal for Thanksgiving is they like to get embarrassed. Last year it was the Texans. 2 years ago it was us. All right. Cardinals, this could be an interesting game, and it's later in the season where Kyler Murray is dog shit for the rest of the second half. If this was the first half, I probably would have us maybe losing, but the Cardinals have a lot of talent. Don't get me wrong, but it all depends on Kyler Murray and his decision making and showing up in the second half of the season. And I know Awesome Kid and Jockstrap about to get in his fucking feelings, so fuck you, Awesome Kid. We're winning this bitch. So at Green Bay Sunday Night Football under the bright lights, it will be close, but sadly we have never won in Lambeau Field, and we will lose this one. It will be close, but Green Bay has our number when we enter into Lambeau Field. All right. Vikings at home on the Monday Night Football. I see this as a win. This is win because the Vikings did upgrade this offseason. They're getting Everson Griffin back to help their front seven, but their secondary is going to have their question marks and all that shit. Their offense, it all depends on Kirk Cousins, or just in case Kirk Cousins gets hurt, they'll put in Kendall Mond, which he looked ass this preseason, so that really doesn't matter. So I have us winning this one as we lost to the Vikings once in the Matt Nagy era, so we still have their number regardless. So I see this one being a win for us. And let's go to the next game. So the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson does shows up for the first 6 weeks of the regular season and then folds like laundry in the second half. He loses to a team that he shouldn't lose to. It was the Giants last year with Colt McCoy. I don't remember the 2019 team that he lost to. I think it was probably the 49ers, where they had that goal stopper to the division. But Seattle has a high-powered offense, but they have a bad defense. Their key part is Bobby Wagner, but he's only going to help the front seven as much as he can do. But outside of no-pick Jamal Adams, they really have no one on their secondary. So I see this being a close one, and the Bears every season win a game that they shouldn't be supposed to win against, and I have a feeling it is the Seattle Seahawks. Now let's go to the Giants Week 17 matchup at home. Giants have a talented team. Got Galladay, you got Darius Slay, you got Kadarius Toney, you got Kyle Rudolph. I don't know if Evan Ingram has a bounce back season. They're getting Saquon back. It all just depends on Daniel Jones, considering if he stays healthy this game or not. But I have the Bears winning this one. It will be close, but Daniel Jones is going to be shut down by this Bears defense, as he already has already. Week 17 at Minnesota, I have us actually losing this one because we'll probably be already out of playoffs by then. So I think we're just going to play for pride here. And Minnesota is probably going to have, playoffs on the line. So I have us losing this one because it's at Minnesota. It's at Minnesota, and they have the crowd to their advantage because that plays a factor. We could win this one, but that's probably, too ironic because I have us as a 10-7 team. I don't want to have us as a 11-8 team or a 11-6 team. But out of all that, that's 10 wins, 7 losses. This is a good for development year for Justin Fields, and Justin Fields finally gets his Rookie of the Year. And we're excited for next season. We're going to see development of Justin Fields be proved well because he's going to be in his second year and he's going to be more familiar. I'm fine if we miss the playoffs this year. But anyway, always like, favorite, and subscribe. As always, bear down.
Let me tell you all a story about a mouse named Lori. Yeah, Lori was a mouse in a big brown house. She called herself the hoe with the money flow. But fuck that little mouse, 'cause I'm an albatross. I'm an albatross. Chelsea.